Breaking news still in Israel at this hour, where there has been a shooting attack in Jerusalem. At least 7 people have been killed and multiple people have been injured. The incident took place near a synagogue in the Israeli Neve Yaakov neighborhood in East Jerusalem. The CEO of Israel's National Emergency Service, Magen David Adom's Eli Bin, says some of the injured are in a serious to critical condition and have since been transported to Hadassah Mount Scopus Hospital. The shooter was neutralized at the scene, and the terrorist is said to have arrived at the scene in a car, got out of the vehicle and entered the synagogue and started shooting with an automatic weapon at worshippers. The gun was then found later at the scene. Celebrations have broken out in Palestinian cities in the West Bank, with videos emerging from Ramallah and Nablus. Hamas has praised the attack, while numerous Israeli politicians have come out and condemned the incident. Our defense correspondent Jonathan Regev joins me now live. Police Commissioner Yaakov Shabtai is on the scene, as well as Itamar Ben-Gvir. The police commissioner saying this was a lone wolf attack. What more can you tell us?
As it seems, this is the understanding now, and as opposed to what we reported earlier on, the previous identification of the assailant was wrong. We're now speaking of another assailant, a 21-year-old resident of East Jerusalem, meaning everything we said about his freedom to move anywhere within Jerusalem and Israel, that is true. But this is a person with no previous security incidents or anything, any background that could perhaps point to him as a potential terrorist. And these are perhaps the most dangerous profiles. Someone with no connection to terrorism whatsoever, someone acting by himself. And as we mentioned, people from East Jerusalem have the freedom to travel anywhere in Israel, just like any other Israeli. They carry a blue ID, an Israeli ID. And this is what happens. Putting your hands on a weapon, on an automatic weapon in East Jerusalem, that is not very difficult. Therefore, this is what has happened in this incident we're speaking about. And as you mentioned, police commissioner is on site. As it seems, this is a lone wolf, a man that acted by himself, and catching those people is a very big challenge. If there's no organization behind, if this is someone acting on his own and not posting too many posts on the social media, tracking these people and catching them before the act is very difficult.
And we were just seeing on the screen images of Itamar Ben-Gvir, the national security minister, at the scene, and we believe that Netanyahu, the Israeli premier, is on his way to the scene as well. Jonathan, what kind of a statement or response can we expect from the Israeli premier?
Both Itamar Ben-Gvir, the Minister of National Security, who's already there, and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, who might be arriving in the coming minutes, they'll say that Israel reinforces forces and send more troops to the West Bank and to East Jerusalem. All that is very good and necessary, but eventually, no Israeli politician, no Israeli leader will put a wall in Jerusalem, such as the one that existed before 1967, and divide the city. As long as the city is not divided, unified, as Israeli politicians like to say, and there's freedom of movement from East Jerusalem to West Jerusalem, it's going to be very, very difficult to track people like that. Yes, the vast majority of the people from East Jerusalem, they're looking for a peaceful life, to work in Israel, earn much more than they can anywhere, perhaps in the Palestinian Authority. But there are always those who will use this freedom for other and much worse purposes, such as the ones we've seen this evening.
And Jonathan, stay with us, but we're seeing reports just in that there's an update from the Hadassah Medical Center that they have finished operating on a 15-year-old boy, and his condition is now stable, that he is out of danger and is accompanied by his family members. But earlier we did manage to get a comment from the Hadassah Mount Scopus Hospital on some of the victims. Let's take a listen to what was said.
The trauma unit at Hadassah Hospital received 3 wounded from the severe attack. Unfortunately, we determined the death of one of the victims at the age of 40. The other two injured, a man in his 20s and a boy between 14 and 15, are currently in the operating room. The boy's family is at his bedside.
And Jonathan, eyewitness reports say it took 20 minutes for police to get to the scene. Was this due to the Sabbath, or is the area simply difficult to get to? What is the explanation for the police taking so long to arrive at the attack?
These are the comments from the eyewitnesses. Police sources say the story is completely different, and forces were there 5 minutes after the incident began, and they were able to end this incident rather quickly. Of course, the eyewitnesses have a different account. They say it took much longer. Police say they were there pretty quick response. But of course, in a matter of seconds, these incidents can lead to the death of many people, as unfortunately we've seen this evening.